Yo, yeah, that's right. Jefe finale checking in real quick. Final boss of the podcast game, man. Whenever you hear that MVP chant, you already know what's the deal. It's the most valuable podcast in the world. Yeah. It's the Hitmen podcast, live in full effect. Live from New York City, across the street from MSG. Chris checking in. Got my dog with me. Same time zone for once. 313 MG. What's the word, big dog? How you feeling, bro?
Hey, I'm feeling good, buddy. Hey, I didn't even think about that. When you messaged you earlier, I was like, wait a minute.
I had you confused. I had you kind of fucked up a little bit.
Hey.
Time travel.
We out here surviving, man. Enjoying some hoops, enjoying some nice weather.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We got the birthday month, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Big dog. Let's get it.
Gemini season, you know?
Yes, sir.
But everything been cool, though.
Okay. How was your weekend? Everything smooth?
Outside of the Spurs losing, everything has been great.
Not the Spurs losing got you fucked up.
Wow. I don't understand how pressure I am.
Wow,
bro.
The NBA team with the NBA fans on.
I don't understand how bad I want the Knicks to lose, man.
Golly. It's like that? What's up with that? Talk to me. What's going on? Why you feel that way?
Me and New York got beef. That's all. I don't like none of their sports teams. You know what I'm saying?
You ever been here before?
Nah.
What, bro? How you got beef with a spot you ain't never been to?
Hey, man. Sports is a powerful thing.
Apparently, it's religious over there where you at. God, dog.
Sports is a powerful thing, man.
I've been busy, bro. I've been locked in. We shifted gears from 1 and 2 in San Antonio. It was raining out there like crazy. Last time we locked in, they was getting ready to do game 1. Now we getting ready to do game 4. We got a lot to talk about with this one. It was next level last night, bro, and not necessarily in a good way. We'll talk about it in a second, but just like the security, because Big Bird was in there last night. Just wasn't fun, bro. It was like TSA times 10. They got these barricades outside, like steel cage match. At Penn Station, basically, like if you didn't have a train ticket or a dinner reservation, or you weren't like a credentialed media member, they basically shooed you off of 7th and 8th Avenue. Like, get from around here. They canceled the watch parties. Mamdani, they got one locked in for game 4, but it just didn't have the same energy that everybody had been hyping all over the weekend. Like, it's gonna be explosive when you get to New York City. Like, you better be careful. Wear your bulletproof vest. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just was, the energy outside the arena was crazy.
I think they was trying to get out ahead of it, but they went too far.
Nah, it's just overboard. And then, like,
I get it.
And then, like, Trump, I guess, apparently he was going to stay for the half and then ended up staying for the whole game. And so that kind of, like, made security detail crazy. Getting in and out every 5 feet, you getting your ID check, you getting your bag tossed. They threw my phone out. It almost cracked. Thank God for the big dog screen protector I got. But bro, it wasn't fun. It wasn't fun. And then the Knicks lost. I know you already said like you wasn't feeling the Spurs getting a win off this highly anticipated game 3. But I did an 18-hour shift yesterday. I was ready to get up out of there, bro.
I feel you.
I don't think I've ever described getting away from being courtside of the basketball game in that way. But
once you hit hour 12,
it just wasn't fun, bro. The vibe wasn't there. Like, you had celebrities everywhere. Before we get off into all that, I'm tripping. I'm speeding. My bad. We want to let y'all know that we everywhere the podcast live, man. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that. Straight up. Make sure you hit us up in the mailbag, the hitmanpodcast@gmail.com. Check us out on the socials at the official Hitman Podcast, at Labeled and On, at Virtuoso Sports. Let's get off into the show, man. So in case you living under a rock, ain't know what we was talking about. Game 3, NBA Finals, New York City, Madison Square Garden, 1 p.m. Yeah, bro.
I know.
It was everything you expected it to be. Like the stars was out, the lights were bright, the energy. Like I said, I was expecting a little bit more. Big Perk kind of been all over the airwaves talking about how he was unimpressed. He seemed more like volatile electric crowds. He thought it, would it be in the first finals game over this way in 30 years, 28 years, something like that. That it'd have been a little bit more charged, but they still got
prices, man.
Yeah, that's what it was. The real life fans got priced out. That's what the nosebleeds, the highest of the highest in the 400 level section was going for $6,000. On the floor, they did a foundation, MSG Foundation. They gave 2 courtside seats away. I think the winning bid was $1 million.
Like, bruh, that is like we talking like Super Bowl prices.
Yeah, they said that. They said the nosebleed sections were averaging some like Super Bowl ticket prices. They put the report out. Not fun. Game 4 is gonna be a different vibe, different atmosphere, especially now that the Spurs done snuck in here and kind of got into the fashionably late party of the NBA Finals, getting the game finally over the New York Knicks. Game 3, 115, 111 goes to the Spurs. Wemby and Jalen Brunson had a dueling match. They both had in the low 30s. Wemby with 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, I think it was, 3 or 5 blocks.
3, I want to say it was. He didn't get that third one till
some of the most difficult threes, crazy like trick shots coming from Castle, Champagny. They pulled out all the stops, and then not for nothing, the officiating has been a lot of what's been talked about for the past like 18 hours, 24 hours. Yeah. There was a lot of physicality. Everybody saw the clip of Wemby damn near pile driving Jalen Brunson. You know what I'm saying? Shaq was loving it. He said that's how you're supposed to assert yourself as a big man. But a lot of people are contemplating whether or not Wemby's a dirty player. And I don't know if being a dirty player comes from inexperience in these high-level games, but they did what they needed to do in terms of exerting themselves with the physicality in order to get back into the game and get back into the series. Now it's 2-1 going into game 4. What you think of the game last night, bro?
I think it's pretty much been the case of all 3 games where Spurs end up at some point with a double-digit lead, and then they blow the lead, and then they come back, and then
all three games being decided in the last 3 minutes, by the way.
Yep, and then game 3, the Spurs were actually able to hold on to the lead, which they have struggled with in this series, and in parts in that OKC series. They struggled with holding leads late in the game too, unless they had a big enough lead to kind of give them enough cushion. Yeah. And this series has been like 12 and 14 point leads, something small.
Well, they started out hot. They've won every first quarter, right? They scored in the 30. I think they scored 30 points even in the first quarter of yesterday's game, game 3. And then the Knicks just walked them down.
Yeah, and I think one of the things yesterday was Castle got going earlier. He didn't have a good first 2 games. Yeah. And, him and Wemby got going early. And so they kind of got them in somewhat of a rhythm. Dylan Harper didn't play great, but De'Aaron Fox definitely had a better game finally.
Much better.
Especially in crunch time. And then the turnovers. They didn't turn the ball over much, which was huge for them in this series and the last series. I think the Knicks didn't really get the support out of the role play, out of the bench that they were getting a couple of first games.
Cat got outplayed. Shammy was not great last night. No Deuce McBride the second half of the game at all. I noticed that early on. Like, damn, what's going on with Mike Brown? Why is he shortening up the rotation when that's been the strength in the whole playoffs, not just the finals? Trusting your guys, and they were making big time shots. I wasn't expecting to see Jordan Clarkson, but he got in there and hit a crazy shot. Did he had a 4-point play?
Yeah.
Was not expecting like positive Jordan Clarkson, bro. Not like no shade.
These were literally the first points he scored in the entire season. Yeah, like, he has not scored before yesterday. So and then Jose Alvarado's minutes have kind of got cut short. He's only getting a few minutes basically, and that's because of the size difference.
That's the size difference.
Yeah. But I think the main thing is De'Aaron Fox came up clutch finally. You had a couple big threes. Like back and forth where they were trading. OG hit a couple of really big shots. Mikal hit a couple big shots. Dylan Harper hit the big three. Him and Brunson traded threes.
Yeah.
So like it came down to the final minutes, and basically I think what happened yesterday was just that De'Aaron Fox came and did what they neaded him to do.
He was the
difference the rest of the series.
He was the difference maker in the game yesterday.
And then,
but obviously, they got the four horsemen over there between Fox, Castle, Dylan Harper,
and Vassell,
and then you got Wemby, you got Jaws in the background. You know what I'm
saying? They've made life tough for Jalen Brunson. They've made it extremely tough for him.
What's funny is it took them this long to do because he's gonna be at the top of every scout, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, the first 3 games, I mean, he's been pure volume. Like with game 1, he had 30 shots to get 30.
I think the stat came out. He's like 31 for 86 shots, something like that.
They've closed off that layup, and everything he's taken in the mid range is contested,
or at least making them think about it.
People. Yeah, it's the length and the size of the Spurs. Pause. So they're giving him a hard time. Now, what I will say is he's still hitting big shots in the last 2 minutes of games, in crunch time. He has still been killing them in crunch time. He hit the 3 yesterday where it was like, oh snaps, this might be over, and then the very next play is when De'Aaron Fox came down and hit that midi. So they're still having trouble dealing with Brunson in crunch time, but for the most part, I mean, they have. I don't look at it as he still had 30 points, but I just look at how many possessions did they walk away without him scoring, and it's a lot of possession, which is a win. But the role players are playing really well right now. Josh Hart has played really well so far.
Out of his mind, I was not expecting any of those threes to go in.
No,
if I was Mitch Johnson, I would let him shoot all of those. To be honest with you, and if he gets 20, cool. But that's more shots in Josh Hart's hand and less shots in Cat or Jalen Brunson's hand. So that means we're gonna have to challenge him to make them shots. I'd be a pool shark in there. I'm doing math. Bro, I'm not an analytics type of person, but in them regards, it's all right, it's gonna be feast or famine when it comes to Josh Hart. He been clicking, but when he don't. All right, it's on. It's on after that.
Yeah. And OG was hooping yesterday.
He was
hooping. But I think the problem for the Knicks is they don't have any other creators besides Brunson out there.
Besides Brunson, he getting roughed up. And not only that, but I think they figured out how to kind of get him in a box where they could hunt him a little bit because he almost fouled out of the game yesterday.
Yeah. So, OG is really good for a straight line drive, and Mikal is kind of good for kind of sweeping across the middle of the lane to kind of shoot that mid range around free throw line.
They're the corner boys, the both of them. They both they go to the short corner. OG will come to the top on the right basket, and then Mikal will come on the near side on the left basket. That you see the both of them they play in the wings heavy, and then Josh Hart is kind of shooting from the elbow, but Cat is the difference. 11 points yesterday. He didn't have a field goal in the second half at all. Wemby was doing whatever he wanted to do. He caught a nasty body. That one hand alley.
Oh, the oop. Oh.
Yeah, bro. The Spurs are a different team when Wemby's on the floor. Clearly, offensively and defensively, the Knicks are a different team when Wemby's on the floor. Right? They got to second guess every shot when he's on the floor. But then when they sub him out for Luke Cornett, they get a little bit more space, floor spacing. They get more shots up. And they're able to get to the line more when it comes to that. I think Game 4 is going to be a lot more electric. They're going to get a different Knicks fan base inside. They got the watch party. They already cleared it outside. So you're going to see them already booing the players when they get off the bus for the warm-up. They're going to be out there early tomorrow. And I think once you get in the building, it's going to be I don't think the fans going to let the Knicks lose this next one. I would be surprised if they go back to San Antonio tied at 2 games. I think the Knicks gonna get it together. I didn't like the rotation shortening at all for either team.
Yeah.
Carter Bryant, I know they trying to get him some what they call it on the job experience.
They gotta play him more, man.
But he OC with it, bro. I think they're giving him I think they're making him responsible for too much when they put him in the game. Like, bro, he got 2 quick fouls, being thirsty. Like, relax.
Yeah, but he was also one of the big reasons why they won that OKC series. And I don't like them just kind of dialing back the minutes on him. He was one of the big defensively. He did a hell of a job on Shea.
Word.
When he was in them games. And he hit a couple big threes in that OKC series. So, like, I'm not saying play him 20 minutes a game, obviously, but I think he should be playing more than like 3 minutes.
Set him up for success, though. Don't put him in 3. Don't have him come in and get 3 fouls in 3 minutes. Like, have him. Yeah. If you're gonna work him in when Wemby's gonna take that rest. Bring him in with Cornet and play him like roughly the same amount of minutes, so you get Champagne some time to recharge them threes, right? Yep. Or bring him in with the dogs when it's a run that's already going. Like, get him in early so he can get into that rhythm. Whether it's playing defense, whether it's he's a high energy guy. He's a lob threat. Like, get him in there when you sub Harper in. This is my question to you though, because I was thinking about it before Game 3. I was on the verge of saying like, it might be time to do that. Like, send Fox to the bench and start Harper. Harper didn't have the greatest game, but he was a big reason, especially in the fourth quarter, why the Spurs ended up winning. If you miss Johnson, how long do you hold off putting Harper in the starting rotation over Fox? Because Fox hasn't been playing well all playoffs, not just the finals. You feel what I'm saying? Well, Harper's been shining. And I think if they want to really get a chance to get back into the series and then, like, take the pole position, like, go up 3-2, like, win here in New York and then go back to San Antonio, win Game 5, I think you almost have to start Dylan Harper over Fox. Or at least play them the same amount of minutes. The other thing is, Keldon Johnson, the paper is 6th man of the year. No, like, the smallest shade possible. You can't play him, bro.
Yeah.
You can't.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, Carter Bryant should be playing over him.
Carter Bryant should be playing over Keldon Johnson. Straight up and down.
When it comes to the Fox thing, I think the issue I have with starting Harper over him is, with how bad De'Aaron has been as a starter, I don't think it gets better with him coming off the bench. I don't think it gets better, right? So
he got to. Do you think he has to stay on the floor with Wemby? He has to stay on the floor with Wemby. Is let me not put words in your mouth, but do you think that's part of it?
That also, I feel like schematically they're doing a lot wrong. The Spurs are.
Okay.
Especially when you got Wemby catching the ball 25 feet from the basket. Like, because when you think about all the success that Fox has had in the past in Sacramento, you had Sabonis kind of clogging up the paint, giving De'Aaron Fox that entire middle of the floor to work with.
Good point.
But, he's not really getting that. And then secondly, Harper and Castle are both kind of line drive players, right? They're beelining it to the basket, right? Or they'll, catch and shoot jumper or whatever. Fox and Vassell are really your only 2 mid-range guys. And then Fox is one of the more sure ball handlers they have. So it's kind of a tough spot. I do think they need to legit think about moving him in the offseason. But where they're, and I got a couple ideas, but like as of right now, I think you keep him there, but you got to find minutes for Harper, obviously. And I don't think they play that lineup of Harper, Fox, Vassell, Castle, and Wemby enough. That's your best 5. They can play that lineup.
I think you got to keep Champagne on the floor. Champagne's
been shooting that moment.
Between him on the Spurs and Shammy on the Knicks, they've been like the best 3-point threats on either team.
Yeah.
Like clutch threats, right? I think Castle needs to get away from shooting the long range. He hit a great 3 yesterday, but it was probably one of the first ones he's had. He was like a bailout. But let's get off into some other aspects of the situation last night. Clearly, Trump was in the building. Like I said, it caused a huge delay. I think the energy was zapped out of the building from the fans anyway, because it took almost 2.5 hours to get into the building. Some people weren't even in the building at the start of the game, at the tip of the game, right? Because they had been in the line trying to get to their seats for so long. So that, I feel like, played a huge toll on just sucking the energy, not out of the fans, but also out of the building in general, including the players, because it's a lot to try to, like, live up to, play up to when your heart beating 1,000 miles a minute. It's a significant event in New York history, having the Knicks in the finals in Madison Square Garden. Everybody was there. Former Knicks players was there. Pat Ewing, John Starks, Allen Houston, Spree, LJ was there. They cut to him when Clarkson hit the 4-point plus. So it was a lot going on.
Everybody but Oak.
They booed the shit out of Trump, bro.
Man.
They booed the shit out of Trump, dog. Crazy.
This ain't the UFC event at the White House, huh?
Nah, not at all. Not even a little bit. And I wasn't expecting that, but they booed the hell out of him. Cut to a clip of him sleep in the booth, dog.
Yeah.
Sleep at the finals game.
Come on, you can't.
And then inside baseball, we thought he was gonna leave at halftime. He ended up staying the whole game,
which is nuts. Because usually when people like these appearances, like when Obama showed up at that UNC game, he only stayed for like the first half.
First active sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Had some words for Stephen A. after the fact. Stephen A. was all on the airways talking about him earlier today. It's pro wrestling at this point, bro. For real.
This man Stephen A. is actively engaged in like 15 different beats.
Dog.
Like
come and get me.
Unhinged, bro.
I don't know how somebody got enough energy and enough bitterness, enough pettiness in their heart to even deal with it, right? I don't got enough time in the day to deal with it. I don't know how he does it, but Stephen A. is an animal. He's a machine, bro. He's otherworldly. Nothing like we've ever seen. But yeah, man, I just think all of that put into a pot, put into that gumbo, I don't think any of it was going to equate to a win, especially when the Spurs started out as hot as they did, scoring 33 points in the first quarter. Cardi performed at halftime too, by the way.
Ooh. Yeah. Man.
Yeah. Bodega baddie. Man. Shout out to Cardi. No Trump game 4. The real fans gonna be in the building. I think the Knicks gonna bounce back. I think they learned from the mistake. I think they saw the adjustments that needed to be made. But the equation is simple. When Wemby is on the floor, the Spurs play better. When Wemby is off the floor, they're vulnerable, right? Attacking Cornette, attacking the defenders that are not the strongest, like you said, a Carter Bryant when he comes in, he's strong. He's gonna be a really good defender, but not this year. I think the Knicks got to spread the floor. Mikal Bridges has to play better. Cat has to dominate 2.5 to 3/4 of this game at his position in order for them to win. They tried to do the Hacker Mitchell Robinson situation. It didn't work out. He hit a couple shots. But like you said, bro, it ultimately comes down to everybody playing at their optimal. Josh Hart got to give him some go. But OG, Mikal, Jalen Brunson, but Karl Anthony Towns especially, has to be the best player on the team in order for the Knicks to win a championship. That's just how I see it.
Yeah, and I think on the flip side, and I'm going to the Carter Bryant thing. He has to. Because Wemby and Harper and Sale, Castle, Fox, and Penny, they're also even keeled.
Yeah, they poised. They're wise beyond their years. They all are playing.
And just
much more mature than
type.
Their age. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Personality type. They're real mellow people for the most part, right? Like they don't really change levels too often unless they get angry.
Yeah, it's just a basketball game to them.
Yeah, so like Carter Bryant is that every team that we've seen like has some success. You got that guy on the team that's just kind of the energy, right? It's kind of infectious, right? Energy's infectious. So I think you got to find more minutes for him. I think the Spurs need to go to the drawing board schematically. I should never see Wemby standing at the 3-point line when Josh Hart is on.
Ever.
I swear.
Ever.
I seen it yesterday. I think it was fourth quarter. And he was asking for the ball. I think he was trying to get it from Harper on the left wing. And he was in the left corner with Hart on him. And I'm like, bro, if you don't take your big ass to that box. If you don't
get your big ass in that box and with them 2 steps, a step and a half, get down there in the block and put him in the coffin. You're right. You're absolutely right.
Wemby has over everybody except Cat. Wemby has at least like an 8-inch height advantage.
Yeah, he should be dunking on everybody.
And you gotta make them pay for being a smaller lineup.
Exactly.
It's just one of those you can't teach height.
That's the lesson that he learned in OKC. In order for them to win Game 7, he had to establish himself early. Go low in the post, early and dominate the post. You need a couple of and-ones and you need a couple of dunks with fury to let them know don't come down here, right? Don't come down here in this basement. It's dark down here. the light flickering, it ain't working. You might fall, you might slip, you might trip. Don't come down here. Stay from around this way.
And it opens up the rest of the floor because you would have got to double them down.
You have to pull somebody down.
Have to rotate. Yeah. So I think the Spurs definitely need to go that route and not turn the ball over, which has been a big thing for the Spurs in the playoffs.
Another little wrinkle, real quick, that's allowing me to enjoy this finals that I didn't even really think about until I was listening to something earlier today. If you notice, bro, it's almost like an assembly line of the AAU circuit or the prep school circuit with these players that are coming out. They all got the same jump shot. They all run horns the same way. Like when we came up, getting a bucket didn't necessarily always look the same. So in this series, Brunson's shot, Cat's shot, Mikal Bridges' crazy shot, they all look different, right? Yeah. It's not like a manufactured, and no shade to Lethal Shooter, but it just seems like they all went to the same academy, right? And learned the same shooting motion, the same form. So with that rhythm, if I'm a Dennis Rodman type, if I'm a Kawhi Leonard type, if I'm a student of defense, right? I'm studying that rhythm. They all got the same tick. They all got the, you know what I'm saying, the 1-2 step over hezzy. They all got the same, hoping that I bite for the pump fake. That's the first move. If I don't bite for the pump fake, then they're going to jab, and then they're going to try to create some space. I know it, and then they're going to go into the same shooting motion. So it's just interesting to see, now, Castle's shooting motion is different than Dylan Harper's. It's different than Wemby's. It's different than, you know what I'm saying? I'm enjoying that. But for the most part, when you see, shooters that are pseudo-efficient like the Thunder, all of their motions are the same. And I didn't realize until I went back and watched a couple of their clips against the T-Wolves and then against the Pacers last year in the finals. And I just watched this last situation with the Spurs, the Western Conference. And I realized, damn, they all essentially got close to the same shooting motion. They all got the same timing. They all got the same breathing. It almost is damn. It's almost like like I said, an assembly line of the same player coming down the woodwork with the same shot.
You can tell who played a lot of street ball.
You can tell who played street ball versus who. Yes.
Who played organized. Yes. Who played strictly, mainly organized.
Exactly, bro. Because they all the only reason I'm talking about this is because you brought up and it's not against the Spurs. It just was this, in the same vein. They all even kill. They all got the same kind of mentality. They all got the same kind of wavelength or frequency where they're mellow. They're not nobody's super intense like a KG. Nobody's using steam like a Udonis Haslem. Ain't no nasty. Everybody's kind of oh well, we just got to make adjustments. Everybody's kind of moving like that. The only they dogs right athletically, but mentality wise, I see it in Castle. Obviously, Wemby's gonna be a super villain of his own. And then on the Knicks side, you got Brunson's even keel, just a rock, right? Mikal Bridges never gets mad, never gets upset about anything. So when you kind of saw that dust up between Fox and Brunson, it was interesting to see who was gonna really get into the thick of it. They don't look anything like the 99 Knicks. They don't look like Mace, right? Yeah. They don't look like Camby. But they got an identity of their own. So it's interesting to kind of see the dynamics work. I think when I look at Cat, it's Cat's a nice guy. He a Boy Scout. You feel me?
He definitely gives me AAU organized Hooper vibes. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell. And this is kind of I've kind of been saying it for a while. Everybody has, like you said, the same moves, same dribble package.
Same shot. The shot timing is almost fascinating, but it's also disappointing at the same time. They all read out the same textbook. They all went to the same, like, you feel me? Like, and I don't like that.
Oh, they all go to Drew Hanlon. It leads into my example of Jason Tatum. He played I'm not the only one who said it. I've seen a lot of people say he plays robotic.
Right. It's like playing by numbers. It's not necessarily fluid.
But you look at the year they won the title, he wasn't in that playoff run. He wasn't playing robotic, and he was getting into his ball handling bag and getting to the bucket. Like, he played a lot different in that playoff run that they won that title. And it's like a night and day contrast to the kind of player he is.
Yeah, man. I want to see. I'm looking forward to this draft class and how each one of their games translate. Where everybody that is touted as a high draft pick, they all have a different skill set, but it's a high skill set. Like, no one player looks like the next. You get what I'm saying? It's not like it's if I don't pick this one, then the player comp or the guy that he was competing against in the combine or in the tournament, like, you can't go wrong with either player because you're gonna get the same type of productivity from each one, right? It's like, I can get this one or that one. I don't really like those types of conversations because it shows a lack of originality or stamp on somebody's game. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when 10 years, 12 years from now, somebody says, who's my game remind you of? I don't want to say, well, you remind me of the motherfucker standing right next to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, just something to think about. Just something to think about in lieu of the finals.
Working out and improving your game nowadays is a lot more skill work than actually playing basketball.
Yeah.
And playing basketball, street ball, pickup, that's where your creativity comes from. You don't pick up that creativity and that individualness by just skill drills and with trainers or in practice.
Nah.
You gotta play actual pickup ball where you are just
scenario based basketball. Yeah.
And you get to try stuff. Like, that's the legendary UCLA runs. That's what it was, basically. Everybody going out there to try new stuff. Everybody going out there to work on new moves, steal moves, like, work. That's what it was, right?
Right.
Rucker, everything. So, which we kind of know street ball culture is kind of not the same anymore anyways because of all the kind of like pro and semi-pro leagues that are out there now.
Yeah, and then it also comes with a amateur connotation, a violent connotation. Like, it's less contained, it's not as safe. Right.
Yeah. But that's also another reason why you see so many people complaining about foul calls too, though, because you got to call your own in street ball, and you can't look to the ref to call it for it. Organized ball, you could just look at the ref, right? So everybody's coming up early, looking at the ref for a foul call. Like, it's bad.
That's another thing, the flopping, bro. Jalen Brunson went full naked gun.
I'll give him credit though.
He went in the full who shot Roger Rabbit on that foul from was it Castle or who was it?
It was Castle.
They ran him down the baseline, bro.
I'm pretty sure it was Castle.
He went in the full Roger Rabbit, Warner Brothers, Disney movie. Like, bro, get your ass up, man.
I give him credit though. He ain't been doing the flopping or kind of like the flopping his body to the side as much in the finals as he has been that we used to see.
Bro, he overflopped yesterday. He almost gave himself a concussion trying to get it off.
Boy, if it wasn't that, it was gonna be Wemby giving him one.
I think he's gonna respond with a 40 ball tomorrow. I think, and that's the other thing. Brunson hasn't been playing well. He's been having a high volume. He's been having high volume nights, but not like efficient nights. I think tomorrow's gonna be the one where tomorrow's gonna be a little bit more physical. If Scott Foster is there, like that, Mark Davis was the crew chief last night. I like the way that he officiated it while they complaining about, Mike Brown got in the press conference and was crying about, not crying, let me not say that, but he was critiquing the refs in the media. And that's another thing. I know we in the get off my lawn segment. I'm sorry, y'all.
No, let's go.
We got to get off this shit where you remember when they used to, Phil Jackson is like the ref whisperer. Like, he's antagonizing the refs in press conferences. Do y'all think these refs give a fuck about these press conferences, bro? Do y'all think they got time to after calling this highly contentious game, trying to get out of here with security, get back to their hotel room without getting browbeat by anybody on the street that got an issue with them? You think they got time to go, let me go back to this replay of this game to see if, or replay of this press conference to see if I made Phil happy? They don't give a fuck about what Phil Jackson or Mike Brown had to say about they officiate. Hey man, I called the game, bro. I missed the call. What's up? Like, you make every shot you put up? You make every free throw you hit. I ain't think so, right?
I'm human. How it is. We only gonna complain about the fouls that were committed against my team. We're not gonna talk about Cat literally hugging Wemby at the top.
Damn, he took his arm off like chicken wing.
You just see Wemby trying to get off of him, like
in that regard. And despite that, we got to get away from challenging everything, right?
My God!
At some point, we just got to hoop, bro. Because
between Mike Brown, and
it was exhausting.
And OKC, bro, two and a half, bro, every time.
It's exhausting, bro. Here's my thing. I think, yeah, you're right. Maybe 1 a quarter. And if whichever one you lose, I think the way they should do it is you challenge until you lose. Right? You get 1 per quarter. If you lose that first one, you can't challenge the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, so you better be right. You know what I'm saying? But all this, like, everybody feels entitled to wave their finger anytime the smallest thing. And then, like, bro, y'all getting blown the fuck out with 2 minutes left. You're not coming back. I don't give a damn. Like, we're not challenging calls, bro. It was already exhausting with all the heightened security and the energy kind of, like, at its peak before it needed to be at its peak. And now y'all dragging the game out with these challenges, bro. You know how you get away from challenging shit? Blow the other team out.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, the first one to 100 is gonna win the game.
Yep.
Leave no doubt, right? Score 100. Score 100 within 3 quarters. Look how I'm whispering to FanDuel. Look. Nah. But in all honesty, bro, bro, it's midnight. We walking out the stadium of a basketball game. Come on, man. Wrap this shit up.
And tell your players when they flop, still try to make the shot. That's my biggest issue.
Try to make the shot, and if you don't get it, bro, get back on defense.
Yeah, people just flopping to get to the free throw line. They're not even trying to get to
and missing free throws. Let's talk about that.
Yeah.
The Spurs, they missed 7 free throws. The game would have clearly been in no doubt. But Castle's missing free throws. Wemby's missing 1 or 2. Like, you can't do that in the finals because the Knicks gonna make you pay. I saw they missed a free throw. The Knicks came right back down and splashed a 3 on their ass.
Yeah.
That was essentially their offense. We're gonna hack y'all.
I think that was that OG 3.
We're gonna hack y'all. Y'all gonna come down here and y'all gonna smoke one or both. And then we're gonna get in transition. We're gonna get a 3 or we're gonna get to the line and we're gonna knock down our free throws. And that's how they got back in the game. You can't miss. You gotta make them pay, bro. If y'all want to get back to San Antonio in a good position, y'all gotta be efficient. Make good shots, make timely shots. Don't shoot a 3 with 22 seconds on the shot clock. But what do I know? I'm not a coach, bro. You know what I'm saying? I just was ready to get up out of there after 18 hours, and then y'all dragging it out. Trump act like he didn't want to leave. I don't know what's going on. Who you got in game 4, man?
I got the Spurs tying it up, man.
You got the Spurs tying it up.
San Antonio tied, man. New 3-game series, man.
Walk me through it before we get up out of here with this one.
How
did the Spurs tie the game? How did the Spurs tie the series?
I think the thing I like about Mitch Johnson is he's not good with in-game adjustments, but he's good in between games. So I think he's going to make some adjustments. I think the Spurs are probably getting a little bit more comfortable in late game.
Yeah, they settled in now. We 4 games in. You know what cards you have to play at this point.
Yeah, so I think they've seen some stuff matchup wise and just schematically that they liked. And that I don't expect Josh Hart to keep shooting the ball that great. I could be wrong though, because I ain't think Caruso was gonna do it past game 1 either. So of the OKC series, so I could be wrong. And then, Brunson, there's only so long your role players are gonna play like this. If you're a team like the Knicks, right? Like it's eventually role players are gonna be role players. So if they continue to hold Brunson to as inefficient, shooting as he's had, basically, I think the Spurs can pull this one off.
Okay.
But I would be worried about Brunson having an efficient game, and if he does, it's probably game over.
We live tomorrow night. By the time y'all hear this, it'll be the day of game 4. Keep it locked. Let me know if you see the kid on TV, man. They caught me a couple games. I was getting texts about it behind the scenes. It's a golden rule when you're working in this industry. Never get caught on camera unless you feel me, a talent. But if y'all see me, man, let me know how my hair look, bro.
Wop the bam.
Let's get off into the quick hits, man. Brendan Sorsby, former quarterback, Texas Tech, had a gambling addiction. Apparently, he bet somewhere around $90,000 over the course of 2 years, I want to say, including games that he bet on his own team when he was over at Indiana, ultimately transferred to Texas Tech. Was going to be ruled out of playing, ineligible to play in college, but he got an injunction, took it to court, is what a lot of these young cats is doing now. These young boys with this NIL money is doing now. They taking it to arbitration. And a judge granted him an injunction, making him eligible to play in the 2026-2027 college football season for Texas Tech. A lot of Big Ten schools have already come out against the ruling, discussed it with the idea, and are trying to manifest a boycott of playing Texas Tech in the upcoming season. MG, you a lot more tapped into college football than I am. Y'all just won a national championship not too long ago. Give me your thoughts on this situation, because from where I'm sitting, like, I'm not the most well-versed. I kind of stepped back from college football. But the black and white of it is Pete Rose is somebody that got kicked out of baseball for this exact same thing. And he's not in the Hall of Fame. Went to his grave, not in the Hall of Fame. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The all-time hits leader in baseball. The oldest sport that we got other than boxing. And now here we are 2026, and this quarterback who's getting paid $6 million just to play at Texas Tech, gambling, and still gets to play. Talk to me about this situation, bro.
Well, lucky for him, he wasn't. I don't think he was gambling on Texas Tech games.
Nah, he was gambling on Indiana games when he was there.
Yeah.
This stemmed over a course of 2 years. They just found they found out about it towards like the end of the
at that point
this past season.
He should have been ruled ineligible.
Yeah, his clearinghouse should have been up. He should have been ineligible to play.
Yeah, he should have been ruled ineligible. And then also, I think this is kind of one of those downsides that people weren't ready for with sports gambling becoming elite.
Sports gambling illegal. And regulation, yeah.
Because yes, players are gonna gamble on their own. Right, in pretty much every sport, right? In locker room gambling on team flights or team buses or whatever. Yeah. But on a big scale, this is one of the downsides. And a kid this young with a gambling addiction is tragic, to be honest.
It's scary. He even came out and made a statement, said that his not per se, sports betting helped with his anxiety on a regular day-to-day basis.
Well, yeah.
That's a crazy statement to say in itself. Like, you unstable, just living life that your pacifier is high stakes wagering. You know what I'm saying?
What happens to somebody who has an addiction and they can't gain access to whatever that addiction is? Anxiety. Like one of the first things that kicks in, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, of course it helped his anxiety because anxiety was probably centered around gambling.
Apparently, he checked himself into rehab, but the coincidental part about it is it was reported he checked himself into rehab after he got found out. Feel what I'm saying?
Of course.
So it's almost like, was it really an addiction or was it really like PR? You know, like you doing this? Are you doing this because you really need help, or are you doing this because you got caught?
And at this point, I don't want you on my team if I found out you were gambling on the team. Like at any point, I can't trust you.
Even like the integrity of the game is down, because if you have direct influence on what's going on, you can come out hypothetically and say, I only bet on my team to win, right? Yeah. And it sounds good, but the reality of the situation is, you go back and look at some of them scores, if they had ever gotten blown out, or they were in a tight game and he fumbled or threw a costly interception, how do we know you weren't point shaving? How do we know that you hadn't already taken $200,000, $300,000 to take a dive? You know, feel me? Like you can't trust that.
This ain't the Calvin Ridley situation.
Nah,
right?
Not at all. Or even Terry Rozier, bro.
Yeah. Well, at least Calvin Ridley was injured the whole season, and he was betting on the Falcons to win when he was on the Falcons, but he was out the whole season, and he was betting on them to win every game. Word. He wasn't betting against them or, like using inside information. He was just betting on his own team to win.
If it were you, you would kick them out? You would kick Sorsby out? And then not only that, but Sorsby's like that. He's lit as a quarterback. He's an NFL prospect, like a blue chipper.
Problem is, I couldn't trust him as an NFL prospect. I couldn't trust him as an
It's
NFL
only going
GM.
to get worse. That's how I see it, bro.
Yeah, it's only going to get worse. You give him millions of dollars and, and more access to do things, right? So, yeah, I wouldn't want him on my team. He might be a nice kid, but I wouldn't be able to trust him without a long period of time passing in terms of from an actual competitive aspect.
Check out Dan Patrick talking about the old days when he was on SportsCenter. I don't know if you heard this or not, bro.
Briefly.
When we would do sports centers together, like Stuart and I didn't get along. We weren't a good team. There was real competition there with Stuart.
Well, let me tell you this, because I wanted the chair. I didn't make any secret of it.
The conversation with him and Rich Eisen.
And Stuart was pissed. It wasn't anything against Stuart. I love the guy. We did get along famously, and it turned out to be an incredible partnership with him. And I love and I miss him, and it was one of the most incredible things I've ever done. But I also didn't want to stay up till 4 in the morning. I didn't like the lifestyle very much. I also wanted to work with you, and I relished the idea of taking Keith's chair and trying to do the impossible. And Stuart was really angry with me. He's just like, why do you want that? We're a team. We're the future. And they chose Kenny. And I was
Kenny May.
and Stuart would always, whenever he saw I was in a bad mood or something was going on, his default was to fuck you up, and just to say, come on, let's go get him. He never even did that with me, saying, hey, sorry you didn't get what you wanted.
Once again, he was extremely competitive.
Very with you.
Yeah.
How did that manifest itself?
I don't know. I think he thought that I was the top dog and he wanted to take down the top dog.
Oh.
What he was doing, how he was doing it, what he was doing, like I have great respect for that. Like we played basketball together.
Oh, well, now there you go.
So all the sports that are out there,
Yeah.
they were going to go play. They're like, you come out and play. And I go, no, because there's going to be some jerk who's going to D me up full court, slap the floor, and Grass and Jason Jackson.
Yeah, right.
No, we're just going to we just run up and down. So I get there. Stuart's got Nike here, Air Jordan here, goggles here, headband, sweatband. He's ready to go. Picks me up
This
full court.
tracks. Picks you up full court.
And he is playing like it's game 7. And I say to Jason Jackson, who is one of my dear friends, I said, God damn it, you told me that we were just going to be casual. He goes, I didn't know Booyah was going to pick you up.
Let's go.
Point where I'm so angry, and I'm dribbling right side, left-handed, and he's down in his stance, and I said, where do you want me to fucking score? He didn't say anything because I was busting his ass.
Gee.
He wanted to guard me, and I was like,
Bro.
Dan talking spicy. Dan talking
Sriracha.
spicy.
You heard? Shout out to Dan Patrick, Rich Eisen. I don't know if that was in the documentary of the 30 for 30 about Stuart Scott,
I don't remember that.
but that was a dope little conversation that he was having with Rich Eisen, and they were talking about how competitive it was being at ESPN and trying to be the top dogs, and how that's a cool little nugget, but I'm sure it wasn't fun to live through. Like, I can see it now. Like, it's almost like being on a team with some dogs, right? Like,
Man.
you want to be the number one option, or you want, like, on I Am Athlete when Brandon Marshall and Chad used to be like, who's the X, who's the Z receiver? You know what I'm saying? Like, who's the white
You
hat?
talking heavy hitter.
Yeah.
Dan Patrick and Rich Eisen, two of the GOATs of this, right? Stewart, one of the GOATs of this. You talk about Keith Olbermann.
Yeah,
right?
Kenny
Like
Mayne. Sure.
Kenny Mayne. Like I like all of them. Like part of my childhood, you know, in terms of as a sports fan, is those guys right there. So like it's dope to hear that like even as a fan, they got that kind of same competitive mentality from like players that I actually admire.
For sure. Do you look at any podcasters that way? Now, like we've been in this space, you've been in this space much longer than I have, but do you look at podcasters that way or any other like media outlets in that way? Not like
a competitive.
Not like I want to slit your throat, but just like you can step in that room, you can step in them spaces, you can go on their show and like kill shit, you know?
Oh, I already know. You already know which one I'm about to say. You already know which one, because I already know.
Is it sports related or is it just like in general? Okay.
Oh, 520.
Without a doubt, right?
I think you get me and B-Hen in the room, and it would be crazy.
Shout out to 520, man. I think I've always felt that way, bro. Ever since I like started studying space, even when like I used to listen to you and a big homie on Blitz, right?
Yeah.
I used to kind of tell like you put yourself in because you understand the conversations that y'all are having. They're more highbrow sports stuff. It's not just like type shit. Like y'all are really like talking about some stuff. Y'all are really talking about conversations about sports and the inner workings of what's going on with these players and in these teams, and just like in a really compelling way, not just like surface level shit or where people think they know what's going on, right? People that are not watching games. And I used to just listen to y'all, and just go, man, I could see myself in this room with them, fitting in. I could see myself in this room leading a conversation. I could see myself in this room being a part of a conversation, like putting in some significance, putting in some impact. I see a lot of my dogs like that. I love the space that the podcast world is in right now, especially the sports like podcast, because it's such a niche demographic, a niche market.
Yeah.
And the standouts are the standouts, but I feel like we could, from the guests that we've had to like shows that I've been on in the past and I've interacted with people just on an everyday basis, bro. I dapped up Hove yesterday. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
Not like on no fan out shit, but just like I'm courtside. I'm next to Fat Joe and his people, next to DJ Khaled, next to Larry Johnson, next to Stephen A. I'm next to, you know what I'm saying? I chop it up with Spike Lee. Like I don't know. It's just one of them things where you see yourself in a position. And it's like you don't fan out. You're not too high, too low when it comes to like being in that space. When you feel like you belong to something or you speak the same language. But at the same time, right? Don't get it fucked up. Like I feel a lot like Dan Patrick felt. Like, man,
number one.
You feel me? Number one with a bullet. I want to be up there. I want to be in that space. I want to be
kind of like.
I want to be in that like conversation.
Kind of like when you got like college prospects or whatever that went to the same school.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's my dog, but I want to be the number one pick.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the number two pick. That's my dog in there thing, but I want to be the number one pick.
Yeah, bro. So I thought that was really cool though when I came across it. I'm ready for game 4, man. I'm ready to see if the pendulum's gonna swing in terms of getting a champion in. We can get out of here on shout outs, man. Who you got for the week?
Hey, my first shout out, I already told you I'm applying to be the vice president of the fan club, Olivia Miles.
Look, she went crazy tonight too. Ooh.
Dog.
Look, they scored 100 points in their game over there, bro. God,
I'm an old head.
I wanted her on the sky. God. Look, She is killing.
I'm a old head when it come to hoops.
And this is before they about to add her MVP back to the lineup.
Bro, shout out to Fee. You know.
Shout out to the W. They already a quarter of the way through the season, but Minnesota looking like killers right now.
Man. And court. Courtney Williams.
Back in her natural position. She back at the 2.
Mid-range assassin. I'm an old head when it come to hoops, so like it sometimes it's tough for me to find stuff that really catch my eye and kind of like spark that like old feeling I used to get about hoops, and kind of like watching Court kill it with the mid-range game, and then watching Olivia Miles kind of be more of a true exciting traditional
slasher. She has a crazy Jason Kidd like Steve Nash like Jason Williams like passes.
So
yeah,
like,
bro.
With the left hand too, the offhand. Like it brings me joy. Like as a hoops fan, it just, if you're a real hoops fan, you would understand. It's like being a fan of like the mid range again, right?
Yeah.
You grew up on Jordan, Kobe, and you see somebody that's just like really good in the mid range, and it's
For
like,
sure.
ooh, right? Or like, I remember like the first time I seen Simone Augustus hooping, I was like, oh, that's Melo,
right? LSU,
like, yeah, it's like, oh, that's Melo right there, right? So like, it's rare you kind of get those kind of feelings with players. Maya Moore, same thing. Stewie, you know what I mean? Elena Deladon, who reminded me of Dirk. Like, you start getting them feelings about players in terms of like who they remind you of. Like Asia for the longest reminded me of like David Robinson.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like, ooh,
real good comparison. Yeah, hell yeah.
The lefty, like, shout out to Asia too, the GOAT in my people.
Shouldn't be.
I never seen Cheryl Miller play, so I can't say. But the consistency my entire life growing up was it was always Cheryl Miller. But I have seen very little with my own eyes. So for me, it's Asia. But yeah, man, it's just exciting to see, man. And you still got some good rookies too. I know everybody AZ's been kind of a big conversation with some of the stuff going on, but she
coming off the bench right now.
Yeah, but we all know she can hoop, and we know she can shoot that motherfucking rock.
She gonna get there. It's gonna click. Dallas is looking good too.
Yep, Dallas. Kelsey Plum been hooping. Like, you've had some pretty good performances from some of the big names.
Olivia Miles is the runaway, in my opinion, right now. Runaway, and she's gonna be an all-star as a rookie for sure. For sure.
I have a hard time keeping her out of MVP convos. I don't think she's gonna win it, obviously, but top 5.
Yeah,
possibly.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like,
most definitely.
So that's definitely my first shout out. My next shout out, I'm gonna take it a little bit old school, man. I'm gonna give a shout out to some Detroit rap legends while I'm here. Blade Icewood, Detroit GOAT. Street Lords, Band Gang, Doughboys, Team Eastside, Rock Bottom, Eastside Cheddar Boys. I'm gonna give a shout out to
Eastside Cheddar.
Yes, sir.
Deep
Eastside Cheddar Boys.
Eastside
you know what I mean? So that's the music I grew up on, man. And I was going through the playlist earlier, man. You riding in the whip, and you just something come on that you ain't heard in like 10 years, and it's like, ooh, that shit hit different. So yeah, shout out to my Detroit legends, man.
We need a couple of them on the show if you can make it happen, bro.
Well, I would love that.
Yeah, let's figure it out.
I would love that.
My shout out for the week, the one and only, the voice of the city, voice of the Bulls, Stacey King, 3-time champion with the Bulls, stand out at Oklahoma, averaged 26 and 10 in his senior season or junior season. I think it came out his junior year. But his second act was probably the more dominant in his career. Becoming the voice of the Chicago Bulls as a color analyst, he passed over the week. This past week, the age of 59. The details of his passing are still kind of murky, still kind of unclear exactly what the exact cause of it was. But he was beloved, man. You know what I'm saying? Derrick Rose had a beautiful homage to him, almost like a love letter to him, thanking him for basically like narrating his story, right?
Yeah.
I just talked to him. I had just talked to him. I actually had just talked to him, if you could believe it. I just was rapping when I was in the elevator with him, was chopping it up with him about Adam. Adam Amin, who's his play-by-play partner. He's also a Chicago native, but he does NFL prime football with Greg Olsen now.
Yeah.
And just talking about how proud I was of the both of them. And he was a true like, he bled red when it came to the Bulls. Win, lose, or draw, he was always in their corner, and the city of Chicago loved him and embraced him. He's one of the best color commentators in the game. We talk about Eric and Dale out in Charlotte. Yep. When you talk about who's the other play-by-play guy that we like? I mean, obviously Mike Breen is the GOAT. Kevin Harlan's the GOAT. But like the most entertaining on the league pass, but just in general, like a big part of tuning
Stacey
into
King,
Bulls basketball was listening to Stacey King.
Yeah.
But he's just a light individual, such a beautiful soul. I got a clip I want to play. This is back from when he was a player. Is one of the lost files from the Chicago Bulls. Check this out.
Sent me out to get some chicken after a basketball game, knowing that we only had 30 minutes to catch a late night flight. You know, he got lost. We sent him out for some chicken to bring on the plane. We had chartered flight, and he didn't get there. We waited for about an hour and a half, and he still didn't get there.
I think Bill passed that order down. He's the oldest vet on the team, and he had Stacey go get some chicken, and he missed the plane, and some expensive chicken.
Stacey was set out to get some chicken, and yes, Stacey did miss the charter, and yes, Stacey did have to pay for his own plane. I think it was to Atlanta.
So I was stuck with 2 big buckets full of chicken, no players to eat it with, and wound up throwing it all away.
Some expensive chicken.
Hey, man.
I wanted to play that one because that one kind of stuck out in my mind. That was from when he was a player. But if you don't know Stacey King,
should have been number 1, but number 3.
You're not familiar for Stacey King. I'm gonna give you one right now. I need to find the one that everybody knows about. Where it's at.
You talking about the Danny Ferry one?
Nah, not Danny Ferry.
Okay, because it's weird because I literally just seen the one where Danny Ferry elbowed Mike, and like the next time they played him, Stacey King got it back with a clothesline on Danny Ferry. I just seen that a week ago.
They held on to that for a long time.
Yeah,
it wasn't something that they was just gonna get away with. Where we at? Can I find it? Oh, here we go. Y'all know.
Whoa! Stop it! Stop it! Do not do him like that! What are you doing, Dragons? Did you not get the memo? Derrick Rose can go upstairs.
Watches this. Watch this.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, he actually caught this ball. Watch.
I want to go higher. Oh my goodness! Dragons! Somebody grab Dragons and say, do you know who this kid is? He's from Chicago. He has a 40-inch vertical. And you are, where's my poster machine? This is what I need my poster machine. Where's it at?
Too strong, too fast, too good. That's how he used to describe D Rose, man. So rest in peace to the King, Stacey King, man. You will be missed. You will be celebrated. You will not be forgotten, not even in the least bit. We're going to get out of here, man. Like I said, we got to get back in the finals mode. Jefe finale, got to get some rest. Once again, for the folks in the back, we want to let y'all know that we're everywhere the podcast live, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of that. Make sure you hit us up in the mailbag, the Hitmen Podcast at gmail.com. Check us out in the socials, the official Hitmen Podcast, at Labeled and Known, at Virtuoso Sports. Last but certainly not least.
What happened here was a miracle, and I want you to acknowledge it.
All right, it was a miracle. Can we go now?
New York City, city that never sleeps. I ain't get the memo. I'm out of here. We'll catch y'all after the finals is over with, and we gone. Holla.
Oh, a spectacular move.